If you understand the concept,
Oh, nice. Nice.
oh, so you can record the meeting like that?
Yeah, somebody is recording, which is good.
Oh, good, 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 good. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So I will share the recording now. Okay,
Yeah.
once it is up. So that is the idea, right? So for the 50 cents raise, Madhaji bought 200 shares of
Yeah.
CRWB,
Hmm.
and since
400 stocks.
400 stocks of
So
CRWB.
$200
Yes,
risk.
thank you. Yeah,
$200
and
risk.
then what happened was after that stock moved up.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
what I do, folks, when the stock continuously goes up, right?
You sell
Hmm.
half.
Like no, yeah. So so at the end of the 5 minute candle, right? If you see this
Hmm.
thick candle, right? In the 5 minute time frame, it didn't go up, right? It didn't go down after the up, right?
Correct.
So what I do, I look to trim some. So here what I'll do, 138.86. So I took $1.40. So I sold half.
Hmm.
Right, and sometimes see I message you guys that, oh, closing half and stuff like that. That is because the
Hmm.
stock price is moved here. And
Okay.
then what I'm doing here, my stop which was below 50 cents, I'm moving it to my entry which was here 137.21.
Yeah, Sriji, I have a question right here. So when you say
Who is this?
this is Sham.
Okay.
So when you say move stop loss, sometimes I see stop loss. What is so you are physically moving the stop loss that you have put already or mentally? Sometimes you say mentally,
You
right?
can, yeah, you can do. I nowadays I do a mental stop.
Hmm.
But initially, like I had told you, Sadanji and Satishji, hard coding is better initially. But because sometimes what happens, it just spikes and goes up, right? If you see this candle, it just spiked and then went up. So
Mhm.
you want to avoid such scenarios, right?
Right.
So that's why a mental stop is better sometimes.
Hmm.
Does,
But is
does
there a
that
way
does
to
that answer your question?
yeah, is there a way in TOS to place the order uh, with stop loss already in place
Yeah,
and
yeah, you can.
profit also in place?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so then what happened is at this candle, right? When just about the fifth thing, you took profit of half. So you still have 100 shares, and your stop is moved here, right? So you can notice that there is no way you will lose on this trade. You will only make money in this trade, right? Then what happens is this. If you look at this candle, it went further up, right? But
Yeah.
okay, so here our EMA will come in place, right? 8 EMA. So 8 EMA is a train to hold the trade, okay? But 8 EMA with 2 minutes also you can look at here. So generally it works better with the 2 minute. So on 2 minute you should see if it is holding the train, right? Oh boy, it moved here. Yeah, here, right? So you have to see whether the 2 minute 8 EMA is holding before you can come out, right? So uh, this is the 8 EMA and this is VWAP, right? So what we did was the stock came here, right? And then here we entered. But okay, let me not confuse you. Let's stay with 5 minutes right now. Eventually, I'll come to you with the uh, multiple time frame right now. Okay. So, but just understand the concept is that as long as ATM is holding, you stay in the trade, right? So you came here and it came here, right? It went up, it came down, and again it went up, right? So if you want the moment the price came down 8 EMA, you can take profit for the rest of the 100 shares. Okay? But if you think this price is just for a flash, it came down and went up, then you can stay in the trade. Do you understand the difference? This is important. That is the idea. This is 8 EMA, right? So so you took 100 shares off, you took profit, right? Then it went up. If you wanted, you can again, anytime the stock price spikes up, you take profit. So we call it positive slippage, right? So you take another, if you want another 50 share, you can do that. And then let the rest run until the price breaks VWAP or price breaks 8 EMA. That is the idea. So you understand, right? So what we did, again to revise, we waited that price holds pre-market. Sometimes what happens is, it's a gap and crap. Stock gaps up and comes down and you lose money. That's why we want price to hold the pre-market high. That is the idea. So if you do that, then like Sham encountered some issue with the Tesla, right? He understood that he has to get in, but he thought the price is moving too fast and he didn't get in. But if you would have just let it go like this and let it come down to VWAP and then reverse, then he would have easily done it. Follow me? So this is what you should do from Monday. Find the stock with the momentum, right? And if the stock price stays above the pre-market high, right, and VWAP after the retracement, then you enter. With the stop below VWAP will be your risk initially, right? And after that, if the stock price moves up, you move your stop to enforce that your profit is in place. Any questions on this before we?
We are entering pre-market or when market open we enter, right? 3G?
Yeah. So there are two things. One is we just made sure that the price is above pre-market high, but our entry is above the opening price of that candle because it came down to VWAP, this candle, right? And so price opened at say 337.21. You see that? Then it came down here. You see that? That big
Yes.
336.77 it came to, right? And then again it went up, and then opening price was held and it went up above the opening price, right? That is when you enter. So see, we are ruling out as many possibilities as we can to get this trade working, right? So we made sure it is above VWAP. We made sure it is above pre-market, and also what we did, we made sure that it is above the open, meaning people who got it here, right? Suppose Vinodji got it here, right? Miteshji got it here, right? And we can assume that when the stock went down and again went up, means the people who bought it here, Miteshji and Vinodji, they held the stock. That's why it went up, right? So that's the reason Madhavji has good data, enough confidence to get into the trade. It can still fail. Nothing is 100%.
Yeah.
But we are minimizing the possibility of failure. That is the idea. That's how you, so that this is how you trade. And then later in the day, what happens is, now we'll come to short here, right? Because it has a momentum, right? As long as it has momentum, you trade both ways. So Mitesh, what happens is, in the short, you buy high, you sell first and then buy at low to make money. Okay. So here if you see, right, the stock went up way high here, right? And you see multiple wicks, right? That wicks is a price rejection. You saw this is a price rejection. Then you saw another price rejection here, right? So now what we do is, So we wait for one red candle. So this was the red candle. Okay. So then what we do is, if the next candle also breaks the low of the prior red candle, you look to short this, as long as you have at least 1:1 risk reward. Because see, if you are risking $1 or 50 cents, you are looking to make at least 50 cents. Otherwise, there is no meat in the thing, right? Just like business, when you do business, right? If you see if it is worth whatever money you are getting, looking at the time spent and this and that, right? That is how trading is also there. You look for 1:1 or 1:2 risk reward, right? And then you make the trade. So if you see that here, if there is a risk reward, if you see, if we are 147 and 140, 142, so it's almost $1 thing, right? So so in technical language, what we do is, wherever it is coming from, right, the price tends to gravitate towards. So if the price goes down here, right, you expect that this candle will go here, the low of this candle here, which is 139.78. That is the idea. And for
Okay.
that, your risk
Mhm.
is this much. The high of this is your risk.
Mhm.
That's the idea. You see that?
Yeah.
I have one query. Sorry to stop you. Yeah,
Not at
I
all.
think
That's what we are meeting up, and let any question come in actually.
no. Yet I think 635 you posted. This is good to buy, and I entered at 643. That time I see like the contract was 581.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then I see in the moment in the couple of minutes I see like it reached that like I see like 30-40 bucks profit. Then
Mm-hmm.
later it started down.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
No. So where did you enter? 540. You said
No, no, I said like a 643.
643. You entered, right?
Yes,
So let's
correct.
look at it right here.
Mhm.
Yeah. See, more live examples and live issues you encounter, right? It's better for us uh, to evaluate, right?
Yeah,
So
you
where
you
is
you
it?
posted like a 635 or sometime. You posted it's good to buy and one contract.
Oh,
Call option
oh,
140.
was it CRWV?
Yes, yeah, definitely.
No, CRWV I should have said for the VWAP. Maybe something else I said. Can you
Means
check?
I said like PST time. Okay, it's a CST at 8:35 you posted.
8:35 I said CRWV?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that is not right then. I don't know. I wouldn't have asked until it comes down to VWAP. Let me see.
Let me see that chat. I
Yeah.
see like I
Maybe
po-
something
I
else. Maybe something else I said 6:35. Can you check?
PST right?
Yeah, yeah. But was it
Yeah.
CRWV or something else?
Just a minute, sir.
बोलता रहे, बोलता है. So see, the entry was to come down at VWAP, right? Or pre-market and reverse.
So while he's looking for it, Sriji, I have a question. So number one is, do you keep the levels? Do you draw levels in the morning before this
Yes.
at the open and leave them
Yeah.
before
So
the
if
chart?
you keep the levels, right? Like let's look at the Friday. Friday, which was a good stock we bought? Uh,
RGTI.
RGTY. Yes. So let's look at RGTI, right? So all these levels are all up. If you see, right? So RGTI was a good stock to buy. Let's look at RGTI. We bought this, right?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay, this is RGTI Friday, right? So we turn on the pre-market. If you turn on the pre-market, see, this is already on. You see that? So initially you did not buy. Even if stock had the thing, it was kind of doing within, it was staying within the pre-market high low, right? Then what happened? It came down all the way. It rejected pre-market low. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay. And after that, what happened? Let me just disable. And it went up above VWAP, right? So
Yeah.
then, if you are an aggressive trader, you can start with 1/4 of your size. Like if Madhavji had 200 shares in mind, here
Mm.
probably just because it is above VWAP, you can start with 50 shares. But right now, don't do that. Stick with the discipline. Stick with your algorithm, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what happened? It came down. You had a reverse candle, and then remember we studied we went over the inside candle 1, 2, and 3,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
have a above VWAP, and then you have an inside candle here. You see that? And what is the beauty of this candle? This was a price rejection, right? So whoever bought here after that, he was at
Mm.
loss,
Mm.
right? But the
Yeah.
next candle went over that, means it took out all the sellers. That means what? The bidders, the buyers were more than the seller here. That gave
Yeah.
you confidence here, right?
Yeah.
So when the price went above the high, that's where we entered. I think Vinod Bhai also entered here.
Mm.
So yeah, 37, right? Above 37, and your stop was 36.81 is another 50 cents. So total
Mm.
50-cent risk you had. So folks, you can see here just with 50 cents risk, right? So much money was printed here,
Yeah. Yeah.
isn't it? Risk free, even if
Correct.
you would just put 100 shares, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but only thing is you need patience. You needed patience for almost half an hour,
Yep.
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
had so that is how it is actually. If you stay with the trade, and then you had this also. So if you see, I wouldn't have existed this trade until the 8 EMA is broken. Not even here. Here the 8 EMA is broken, right? Because you want to wait for candle to close.
Yeah.
That's the idea. Okay, and then it came down here. If you see, and then it again held the pre-market high. You see that?
Right. So
And so
during that
so
time,
here, so if you take the high of this candle, the risk is again 50 cents, and you enter here, and it gave another so much money here, right? So
at
again for
this
50
time,
cents, you made $2. Here also
Sriji,
for 50 cents, you made $2.
Sriji, question now.
Hmm.
At this part, since it's coming down, it is natural that we feel, oh man, I'm losing all that money. When do you think we can be a little more say, okay, yeah, I took off the profit at least. I'm not that dumb. That kind
Yeah.
of feeling. When do you stop?
No, so that's why I'm saying that here what happened was you entered here because it was above VWAP, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here you entered. You know the risk, initial risk you have,
Mm.
because that is your appetite. You started the trading that day,
Okay. Okay.
right?
Mm.
So then
Mm.
what happened was initially, so and then I said positive slippage, right? When the stock goes up a lot here
Mhm.
you probably in $1 you took profit half a shares. So here what you did, you moved your stop to the entry, which is 37.46 again, right? And after that, you just waited for ATMA to keep on going until it, so for rest of the shares you closed it here. It still went up, but you don't care. You have a plan in place, right? Only thing is you need
Yeah.
to see that you are buying a active stock. You are not buying any random stock.
So
Yeah.
that is another
Sri-
question that I think you covered it previously also, like to see which stocks have momentum in the
Yeah.
morning
Yeah, best is this, if
market.
you see if it is the relative volume is above 1 means it has momentum.
I mean, pre market, just you go and you say, okay, these are the few stocks that
Yeah.
are good.
So yeah, generally, so what I do is there is a site called Seeking Alpha.
Uh-huh.
Seeking Alpha has a Wall Street breakfast or the podcast, right? So in the morning during your walk or jogging or whatever you guys do, you can just listen to that, right? You kind of have an idea as to what the day is going to look like, right? So
Mhm.
RGTI came like that, CRWV came like that for me. But there are various ways actually. Vinod bhai listen to CNBC. I like that podcast because I'm also exercising in the morning, right? So
The free
that's that.
CNBC account gives some information.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sriji, the
No, so even if you just watch the channel, they will talk about the stock, moving stock, I think.
Oh, okay.
Vinod bhai, that's what you do, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, but I like that podcast. That way, it gives me the good depth of what each stock look like, and then you look for the relative volume.
Is it paid or what kind of
Oh no. Oh, which the everything is
seeking
free.
seeking alpha?
Yeah. I will not give. I will not tell you to buy anything until you make money consistently on the demo account. I don't. It doesn't make sense to spend money before earning it
Mhm.
because there's so much free information available. Actually, when I started trading, I was telling you last week, right? That there was no demo platform available with the live feed. I used to get the demo platform, but with the 15 minutes delayed code. So whoever is learning now, they at least have a edge that
That
you
is
can
true.
trade as the demo account as if it's a real money with the real feed.
That's true. That's true.
So that's the idea. So I don't want to kind of confuse you more. I'll only answer a question for the rest of the time we are online here. And let's hope some of you can make progress next week, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
But don't stress yourself. Let it come to you organically because eventually you will make it, right? Like Satish ji is now making it,
Yeah.
right?
yeah. Sriji, that Madhavji was asking that question, even same question for me. Probably might have explained. Probably I'm still trying to get around it. So when this going down, right? I mean, where I circled, and then we tend to be panic, and then we sell the stocks, right?
Uh-huh.
And we get panic, and then like when it's going down, gone down, and then we sold it.
Sell it. It's
And
okay, right? You
yeah,
where did you enter? First, tell me where was your first entry?
somewhere here.
Where here?
Yeah.
Okay, very good, right?
And then yeah, I got some profit, and then when I see this dropping down, and then I sold it immediately.
You
Yeah, somewhere I
sold
mean, with the
some, right, or
profits.
full?
Sorry,
You sold half or you sold full?
I sold full. I was
Okay.
little, yeah,
So
sold
what was
full.
your question again?
The question was like, I mean, once it's going further down, and then there is like potential it's went back all the way top, right? I mean, whatever the pre-market price or something.
Uh-huh.
So how do we know like when this is going back again? Like that's a kind of a question I have.
You do not know, right? So you
Hmm.
that's why you wait for the reversal candle.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
Hmm.
the best example is this. It went up, right?
Hmm.
You sold it. You want to re-enter again.
Right, right. Hmm.
So this candle came down, right?
Right.
And then you waited for an inside candle, like
Hmm.
number one. Remember 1, 2, 3 we discussed yesterday, last
Right.
week.
Yeah,
So
I
this is
agree.
the inside candle.
Hmm.
So you waited, you sold here, you
Hmm.
waited, and you re-entered here.
Hmm.
Okay? And this
Yes.
time your stop is the low of this candle or VWAP,
Hmm. Yes.
right? And you
Hmm.
entered here again. So again you made money.
Yes.
But then what happened? Here you got panic.
Hmm.
So you sold it here again.
Right.
So then what happened? You again waited for the reversal candle.
Hmm.
So here you re-entered here.